What is going on, everybody? It's Matt Frost, and we're back again with another Elestrals Divine Champion Sunstrike reaction video here. Just gonna go over the cards again. They're still, for some stupid reason, doing this podcast variant, which I don't care for. So, let's look at this stuff here first. Let's got our boxes and everything. This is what everything looks like. Let's start off with Snowwater, Penguat, and Amperawat, Champion of Hera. Hera is getting them, surprisingly. You can special ascend the snow model into an Celestial with enchantment of Frost and Thunder from your hand or Underworld if you discard a card. If you also discarded a card. Okay, so interesting. Obviously you can discard a card anytime that you want. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah. Very interesting there. Really easy way to get up there. You can return Thunder from the field to your spirit deck in order to for Penguat. In order to search your deck for a Thunder and Thunder Frost Penguin Elestral, or yeah, Penguin. I'm just gonna say Penguin Elestral, and add it to your hand. Special to send this Penguat into that Elestral from your hand that is not Penguat. So basically, you're just looking for getting Parawatt this way. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Just return Thunder Spirit from your field to your Spirit deck, and pretty much go find your Parawatt and evolve and ascend from Penguat into Parawatt. I like the original Parawatt. I've used it. I've been able to ascend into it a few times. I thought it was pretty cool. That's a much easier way to get it out. Which obviously you can get regular Imperawatt, you can get Champion of Hera Imperawatt, which has Hera in the art form, which is pretty cool. Not too many champions do that. When you cast this Imperawatt, you can enchant up to 3 Thunder from your Underworld. We've seen this before with the Unkelith, you know. When this Imperawatt enters battle, you can Nexus up to 3 to it. During your end phase, you can draw a card and Nexus up to 3 from this Imperawatt. So basically, what you want to do with this is, wow, that's gonna be a lot. Okay, so you get 3. You put this on the field. You get 3 Thunder from the Underworld, so it's already got 6 plus 6 plus 3 attack. So it's now a 6 attack. Like if you attack your opponents directly, that's going to be 6 spirits there. When the Imperawatt enters battle, you can Nexus 3 more to make it plus 9. During your end phase, then you can draw a card and Nexus up to. Okay, that's an interesting battle strategy there. So so you start at 3, you get 3 added from the Underworld. The Nexus up to 3 more, so it could have up to 6. Now it can have which is very risky to do, especially if your opponent has a bunch of back row. This one definitely feels a little risky to do, unless you're able to get this on the field and your opponent doesn't have back row for some reason, and you could do a lot of damage. So that's a very interesting strategy here of go from Auto Penguat up to Imperawatt and get a bunch of spirits on top of this thing, and it's going to do massive damage if you do that. What we got here? Femalord, what in the blue blazes is this thing? This Femalord gets plus 1 attack for each Luna enchanting it. When this Femalord is attacked in attack position, destroyed in battle, you can enchant up to 3 Luna from your Underworld to your field. Okay, interesting. The design doesn't feel like it would be a 1 cost. Am I the only one thinking this? Like, Vermalord, it definitely feels like this would be a 2 or 3 cost. Just the design doesn't come off as a 1 cost Celestial to me. Getting plus 1 enchanting, and obviously that'd make it a 5 attack from the start. Obviously, if you have 2 of these on the field and 1 gets destroyed, you would be able to put the other 3 on top of it. That means it's going to be plus 4 instead of plus 1, so it'd be at 8-1. Would be very interesting. Not much you can really say about this. It definitely is an interesting looking Celestial. It doesn't look like an Elestral to me either. It just doesn't have that Elestrals look. Obviously, pairing it with the lunar phase full moon, which everyone loves themselves a full moon. Got here. We got Celestial, we've seen before. Don't really care about that. What we got here? We got the Nebula, Leo Bright, regular Leo Bright, and then we got Nebula over here. You can Nexus Solar. When you do, you can search your deck for a champion of Aries and add it to your hand. You can Nexus one Solar when a Stadium Ruin is or artifact is receives Solar. This way, you can target and destroy a face down ruin. Okay, not the best things. Like the designs though, for sure. Nothing beats the original Leo Bright. All them. I don't know, man. Luminous, champion of Hera, 7/5. That's a beat. That's a steady. That's a bulky mon right there. You can disenchant Solar from your Luminous in order to search your deck for a Solar Ruin and add it to your hand. You can disenchant Solar from your Stadium Ruin or Artifact Ruins in order to change the position of an Elestral. I don't know, man. I don't see the point of getting much play. It's a 7/5, so it'd be a good defensive Elestral. You're not going to see too many people getting over this. But I really don't see wanting to really use this that much. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes. I mean, 7/5 stat line is definitely something worth putting in your deck, just because not too many one costs are gonna hit over this. Not too many two costs are gonna really hit over this either. So yeah, getting this in and having this in your deck just for defense or bulky attack, yeah, I can see it, but I don't really think about using its effect that much. Actually, change position. I mean, it depends. We got another armament in here. We got these two here. I still think we're gonna get a couple more armaments and another Colosseum because it says the battlegrounds. This says spear. Here's the sword. Here we go. Here we go. We got Colosseum and Ares, the armory and armament of Ares, sword of vitality. So that's a beautiful looking. By the way, I love the design. The Colosseum being armory. The armament of Ares, the Sword of Vitality. This empowered Electro gets +1 attack. When this armament of Ares receives one or more solar, you can give this empowered enchantment +2 until the next turn, and you may return 2 from the underworld to your spirit deck. Okay. So, wait a minute. It gets +1, so when the turn over ends, it'll be a +1. But because it's got 2 on it from the start, does that mean that you get +2? So it'd be a 3 attack when you first, like on the first turn, and then it'll be +1. I don't know. I love the fact that there's a little Luminous in here. It looks like with Zeus. It looks. I'm sorry, not Zeus, but Ares. When a champion of Ares enters battle, its controller can nexus up to 2 so basically, if you're going Ares versus Ares, if you're going champion versus Ares decks battling back and forth, and it's both of them have champions of Ares, this card affects both, not just yours, but both. The next is up to 2. When you enchant solar artifact is sent from the field to the underworld, its owner can return it from the underworld to their hand. Very interesting. So with this on the field, if this armament of Ares gets sent to the underworld, you can send it back to your hand and just play it the next turn. Very, very interesting. Again, yes, if it's a battle of champion of Ares decks, then you only have to have one of these on the field, and both sides get to use its effect, which is interesting. What we got next? That's just the Colosseum. It still feels like we're gonna get one more armaments because there were 2 slots. It felt like after the spear. This Heliolith, which is the champion of Ares, can be normal cast with 2 if your Ares is enchanted. When you cast this Heliolith, you can cast an armament of Ares from your deck, empowering this Heliolith. Very interesting. So basically, you're going to be able to just boost this thing up get it more attack off a rip instead of being a +1, +4/4. It's going to be a 5 or 6 or whatever else. Yeah, Dan loves that 4/4 stat line. He's said that very many times. He loves that stat line. I don't know why. Obviously, there are some stadiums out there and other effects that can give you can make this a 5/5 off rip. So That makes it like a lot more interesting. But like 4/4 is like a favorite stat line of his for some reason. Moving on here, we have the reinforcements of areas. This is a trap card, or a counter rune. Special cast a champion of Ares from your hand using only spirits enchanting your Colosseum Ares or Armament of Ares. So basically, if you have two spirits, an armament with two spirits, you can play this, get a 2 cost on the field, and boom. If you only have one spirit, you can only do that. This could be a very good card to use. Get Helios on the field. Get any of the other heroes on the champions of Ares on the field. That depending on what you have on an armament of Ares or you have on a stadium of Ares, Coliseum of Ares. So this one definitely is going to take some strategy to do. But I can see this being used very much. I do love the fact that you have all these big champions, Solgaleo, not Solgaleo, Celestlio, Heliolith, and the other one as well. Well, like these card arts, like they're killing it with these card arts too. By the way, oh, we got here. We have ourselves Lavalist. We saw this last week. We're not going to talk about that anymore. What do we got here? Tongs of Hephaestus. Hephaestus obviously had his first artifact, but this is a 3-cost artifact. That's going to be very hard, but its effect better be good. Tongs of Hephaestus can only empower a fire Elestral. This empowerment Elestral gets +4 attack and +2 defense when the empowered Elestral destroys an Elestral in battle. You can discard a card in order to target and destroy a card. Wow. First off, obviously the Hammer of Hephaestus is very weak. Nobody likes the Hammer of Hephaestus. It's not a great card. But this one can only empower Fire Elestrals. It's a 3-cost. You get +4 attack, +2 defense. When you destroy an Elestral in battle while they're empowered by the Tongues of Hephaestus, you get to discard a card in order to destroy a card. Wow, this one is going to be a menace for people, but it's also very rare. It's also very like risky to do because it is 3 cost. So if your opponent plays a rune or something that can destroy back row, and they pick this card, you're losing 3 spirits. So it is a very risky play, but it's also good as well because it could take a 1-cost Celestial. Say you have a 1-cost Fire Celestial on the field. You put this on them, they became a 5. So any Celestial, any Fire Celestial can basically become viable to use with this card on the field. And then you go, well, my Celestial is now a 5, or if I say I have a 3 attack, now it's a 7. I can take out anything, discard a card, and I destroy a card on your side of the field. I can see this one being a headache for a lot, and I can see a lot of complaints coming later on, and this one getting sent to 1 cost. I can see this being a banned card eventually. I mean, fire is not the most viable option, and it hasn't been since set 1, but it's great to see some fire support, and yeah, I can see a lot of complaints coming for this card later down the line. I can. Got next. We got Bellaby, Champion of Hephaestus. When you cast this Bellaby, you can search your deck for a Reforge and add it to your hand. Very simple, very simple effect. Only 2 lines. You don't see too many of those nowadays anymore. But you get a Reforge, add it to your hand. Okay. Yeah. Not much you can say about this. You get a Reforge. That's it. Obviously, if you use the previous card on this one, it becomes a 7/6. Unless your opponent has a way to get this thing off the field with obviously having resting. I think is still a 1 of, so yeah, that would be a big thing, or earthquake. It's that. But yeah, other than that, not much you can really say about this. You get a Reforge, cool. The other one get put on here too. In Fornax, okay, you can expend Earth, Fire, and Wind in order to draw a card for each artifact rune in your rune row. Double all attack and defense given by your Fire, Wind artifact runes, empowering this. Wow. So if you put the big 3-cost on this one, and you have this on the field, you enchant this with the tongs, You're getting +8 if I'm reading that right, because there's no fire in there's no fire wind boon artifact. But if there was to be one, that's crazy. But if this is like just the artifacts themselves, like the 3 costs we just saw, the tongs, and you put it on this, you get +8 and +4. Wow, that would make this thing impossible to knock out almost with any Elestral, unless of course you were to destroy its. That's insane. That's insane. Just looking at that. Got Corvus Smith. Oh, Corvus Skull, and I'm getting Fire Elestral and Nexus. Interesting. Corvus Smith. What a name. You can target a fire artifact in your underworld and put it in the bottom of your deck. If you do, an opponent expends spirits equal to the enchantment cost. So obviously, the tongs, if you were to take the tongs and put it in your bottom of your deck, they have to expend 3. Not much else you can say about this. Yeah, you're either doing 1, 2, or 3. Cool. It's a good one. It's a good one hit, but that's all. Baltuga. You've already seen the Subatuga, but your festive effect can also find fire. Fire counter runes. You can disenchant fire from your field in order to special send this Baltuga into the Subatuga from your hand or deck. Okay. So you disenchant fire from your field, and obviously you want to take it from your Hephaestus. Okay, not a bad way to get it on to Vesuvatuga. Easy way as well. Obviously, you can disenchant your fire from your field in order to search your deck for an eruption or champion. You already know that. Here's the eruption, right? Here is the eruption. Hephaestus. Did I say Hephaestus Jealousy? Hephaestus Jealousy. Wow. Enchant fire to your field and fire to your opponent's field until the next turn, which is going to make this card very fun to use on webcam games. By the way, so your next turn, opponent cannot play runes using fire from their field during this turn and turn's end phase. You can destroy each fire enchanted card that is not a fire card. Okay, so if I put a fire on an opponent's field once. Okay. So if I put it on there, so this is also a way to get a divine off the field. This is a way to get a divine off the field, or get a stadium that if you don't have a stadium ruin. This is a way. This is actually a very good way to get a divine off the field. So it's like, oh, you have Hera on the field. Let me put a fire on that Hera, and at the end of my turn, Hera's gone. Oh, you got Kione. Let me put a fire on the Kione, and Kione is gone. Oh, yeah. So this is obviously this is a way to get rid of an Elestral if you're not going against fire types, a fire deck. But if your opponent is heavy use on their divine and you don't have a way to get rid of the divine, and they have a lot of spirits still in the divine, you can sit there and go, boom, I'm gonna put a fire under your divine, and the divine is gone. Which I wish there was a way to get a lot more ways to get rid of divine removal, but there isn't much. It just says, yeah, just put it on your opponent's side of the field. On your opponent's field, say, okay, I'm gonna put it under your hair. I'm gonna put it under your Aeolus, and boom, it's gone. Plain and simple. I don't know how well this is gonna work. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes. The fact that it's called Hephaestus Jealousy is obviously getting more or less spirits on, especially if you have a stadium on your field that has fire. There's one like is the volcanic forge. Yeah, just helps that out completely. But it has to be fire enchanted or it gets destroyed. Interesting. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? No, it looks like that was it. Oh, hold on. Maybe not. That was the Tongues of Festus. Yeah. That looks like that's it for new cards today. Again, and I can't wait to see what the actual decks look like, because here's the 2 boxes. You have Solar versus Fire, Earth versus, Wind versus Thunder, and hopefully be getting those decks very, very soon. But that is all for this thing this week. Definitely love to see it getting fire support. The tongs is definitely going to be a very risky play to use. It's a risky artifact to use for the simple fact that it is a 3 cost. It is a 3 cost, and your Celestial going off the field will cost you three obviously, but it also boosts your Celestial up to where a lot of Elestrals are going to be difficult to get off the field if they have the tongs on the field. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys for the next video, which I believe is going to be next week on the 11th. And you guys have a good one. I'll see. Hold on. What's that say? Hold on. Go back. Go forward. Okay. Coming. Okay. So we have on the 9th and the 11th. So we had actually 2 days next week we're getting them. Maybe that's going to be the end of Sunstrike. I don't know. I don't know how many cards are left to figure out. I'm pretty sure we're getting close to the end here. So maybe the 9th and the 11th are it. They do want to kind of have everything done before Worlds, which is coming up very, very soon. Till then, my name is Browns, and I'll see you guys later.